Hello, Raymond. My
Hi,
name is
hello.
Barbie.
Hi, Barbara.
Everyone here is thrilled to finally have you in Argentina and see you live. You are a very important group for music in general, not only for the audience, but also for musicians. Kurt Cobain said you were the best band in the world. Liam Gallagher said you were the second best band after Oasis. And many bands around the world consider you a reference point. Here in Argentina, groups like Bestia Bebé, Los Andes, or Grand Prix, who took their name from you, they consider you their biggest influence. Do you feel the impact of that recognition? Can you see the mark of Teenage Fan Club on current music?
I think, we've met a lot of people and people have been kind enough to say that they liked what we do. Whether we don't really see specifically our mark in other people because we think when we started the band, people looked at us and said, "Oh, you're just like these other bands." Everyone is influenced by everything else. It would seem a bit arrogant to see us as having our. We know that people have liked us, and we've liked a lot of other things, and uh, but we're pleased when people like what we've done, and it feels good that over the years, we've made some records that people seem to have taken things from. Um, you know, we're not actually sure whether Kurt Cobain did say we were his favorite band in the world or whatever, but he did like us because we toured with Nirvana. Sometimes on the internet things kind of get added to, so we have to be fair. But no, Liam Gallagher did say he thought we were the second best band in the world.
It's a lot.
Yeah, but that's Liam. Being Liam was a funny guy, and I think that was his way of saying that he liked us in his own. He's more gracious than he appears. He sounds really arrogant, but he's actually just a funny guy, and he has his own way about things. So that was nice of him to do that. But yeah, we're pleased that in all the years we've been doing stuff, if people have taken stuff from us, that's great, and that's fine because we've taken stuff from other people as well, and that's just the way music works.
Okay, so there's a definitely Teenage Fan Club gene in a lot of Argentinian music. So it's going to be fun, your concert here. And you're touring with your latest album, Nothing Lasts Forever,
Yeah.
a title that seems a bit dark, but the first verse of the album is quite optimistic. It's time to move along, leave the past behind me. My heart was like a stone, but now it's beating brightly. It's beating brightly. I'm talking about Foreign Land, which also has a video film in a tomb. So,
Yeah.
was there an intention behind this game of lightness and darkness in the album,
Well,
which, by
well,
the way, I think
we.
is a great soundtrack of these times?
Oh, thank you. The lightness and darkness, we like to think about both things. So in terms of nothing lasts forever, it's kind of like the bad things don't last forever, but also the good things don't last forever as well. It's kind of a really obvious statement to make as a title. We thought it had a certain thing as a title that worked. We also thought it's funny as a band that's been around for 36 years to have
Yeah.
an album that's called Nothing Lasts Forever. It's lasted longer than we ever thought it would. We're as melancholic as anybody else, and we like to indulge in that, but we like to look on the bright side as well. Um, so as I say, the first song, the Norman song, "Foreign Land" on the Nothing Lasts Forever album, is him moving on from a period when he maybe wasn't seeing the bright side of things so much. So we like to embrace both of them.
So it is an optimistic album, uh, even with the title.
I think we are. I think we are optimistic people. We like to look. Sometimes I think pessimistic people who are only pessimistic are kind of boring, you know, Because it's kind of like people are like, oh, this is terrible, and that's gonna, you think, well, what? Who wants to hang around with that all the time? No, everyone has their dark moments, and we do too. But generally speaking, we like to look for the better side of things, or to look for worth in things, or just to try and feel good about things. And we are generally optimists. We like to do things, and we like to move forward, and we like to look into the future and hopefully see things being better. We're not crazily, evangelistic as individuals about everything. We're as dark as anyone else, really, in real life.
And talking about being around for so long, after 36 years of career, you've achieved something very difficult for a band. You managed to change from album to album, decade to decade, with different formations, and you still do it while maintaining a very teenage fan club identity. It's impossible to confuse you with another group in any of your stages. So my question is, does it happen organically, or was there a bizarre moment when you were on the verge of incorporating an auto-tune effect on the vocals and said, no, this could break our identity? How do you do it?
We do it by not thinking too much about it. I think it's a mistake to second guess what you do and think, either to think, oh, we need to do the same as we did in the last album, or we need to do something different. We like to just do what we feel like doing now. It's not going to be completely removed to what we did before, but it's also not going to be exactly the same because, one record might have been recorded in the summer, one might have been recorded in the winter, you're in a different place, with different things going on in your lives and,
right.
and the people in the band. But we like to just approach it as us, as people first, doing this as human beings, just using these things we have, playing guitars and singing to express ourselves. We try not to let ideas get in the way of us just being ourselves. As in a narrative, we don't kind of write something down, then try to conform to an idea. We like to just let things happen. If we feel like doing something, we'll do it. If we feel like making an album and the songs are all going to be a little bit slower, then they'll be slower. If we feel like doing a song that's going to be faster, it'll be faster. Or if we feel like the song's going to be softer sounding, we'll do that. If we want to, things to be noisier, we'll do that. We like to just do what we feel like doing. I think as soon as you try to step outside of yourself and look back and think, should we be doing this? Should we? I think that's the point when you kind of lose it.
Yeah.
So we like to just do things intuitively as much as possible. We don't talk a lot about what we're going to do. We just kind of do it. We talk about everything else while we're doing it. We talk, there might be detail, but what we don't do is sit down and say, okay, let's come up with a big idea for this album we're making. We don't do any of that. We just set up and we start doing it. And what's important to us is it just sounds like us as people, really.
Right. And now that you're touring, do you take advantage of being together to compose, or you leave it for another time?
We have fragments of ideas, and sometimes things come to you in a time and space when you don't expect it.
Yeah.
But in terms of pulling all those things together, we kind of have to feel like we've reached the kind of end of a period, and then we move into a new thing. And that's the show that we're playing in Buenos Aires is the last show in this sequence of shows. And then we're thinking, we can kind of see it on the horizon, thinking of a new record and thinking about new stuff. We haven't actually booked a studio yet. We haven't done stuff, but, on our way home from that show will be the process of us starting to do something, work on new songs and do new things. So that shows a kind of significant moment for us, or it will be, because that's the point between what we're doing now and then the point between what we will do after that, if indeed we get to a point, we always say there might come a point when we go to make a record and it doesn't feel right and we give up, you know.
Yeah.
And that was part of saying nothing lasts forever, because every album we make, we think, this could be the last one, you know, who knows. But we're thinking about doing another one. And if it so happens that there isn't another album, it's because we went away and we thought we can't do it anymore. I don't think that's going to happen, but, you know, I think you have to leave in your mind the possibility that you're past it, you know, and you and you may not have nothing more to say or nothing else to offer, you know. We're hoping that's not going to be the case, you know. But we're looking forward. No. We're looking forward to finding out in a few months, you know.
But it's good to know that the last show is Buenos Aires, because my next question is about that. You know, there's an audience accumulating decades of waiting. Are you considering a special set list for that audience that has never seen you live? And now I know that it can be a longer set list now that it's your last one.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. When we, you know, we know that we're playing somewhere we've never played before, so we're not going to be like, oh, yeah, we won't play that because we played it last time, or, you know, like we played in Glasgow recently, and we played in Glasgow maybe a year and a half ago. We're looking at what we played last time and think, you know, so everything's a kind of blank sheet of paper, you know. So we're just trying to think of playing the best range of stuff from a lot of stuff from the past. Yeah, we don't have to worry about, oh, we'll play these songs, you know, people have heard us play this song so many times, because, you know, when we play this show, that won't be the case. So we haven't written a set list yet, but it's a, you know, we are aware that it's not just another show. It's a show in a place we haven't played before, and it's a show in a place we haven't played before, having been in a band that's existed for 36 years. So it's special in that. And it feels a privilege to us after all these years to still get to go to new places and play in front of people we haven't played to before. We don't take any of that for granted. It's great, and it feels like, you know, we feel so lucky that we can do that, and we can keep doing this thing. It's, you know, it's such a luxurious thing for us to do, and to have. Keep doing what we're doing, and also do it in new places that we've never been before. It feels it's such a great thing for us. We don't take it for granted.
Well, feel free to play a very long set.
And we will.
The second question about Argentina is if you have any expectations about Argentina at all, maybe a place to go or food to try.
Well, we're kind of just looking forward to arriving and just letting the experience wash over us. I think that's how we like to experience things, be open. We're not going to be there for that long, but we arrived the day before the show, then we've booked in another, we're staying an extra day so we can have a day off after the day of the show as well. Then we leave the day after that. So we're just hoping to hopefully find, you know, put it this way, we're not going to be sitting around in a hotel room watching the TV. We're going to be out doing stuff as much as we can. You know, we do that wherever we go. You know, we like to see new things and experience what's around us. So, yeah, if you have any recommendations, let us know. You know.
I do. A lot of places to eat out. So I will send you.
We love to eat. You know.
I will send you a good list later.
Okay.
So you can
thank
choose.
you.
So Raymond, I have two more short questions. Thank you a lot for this interview here.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm sorry, Norman must have had some technical problems, so he hasn't been able to make it. Yeah.
The last ones. If you had to invite someone to see Teenage Fan Club for the first time, and they're getting to know you through this interview, do you have a pickup line to invite the audience to the show? Like, this is Teenage Fan Club.
I don't think I'm good at pickup lines. I think we're the kind of people that prefer to be picked up by other people. You know, I think the thing is as well, when you're this thing that we do or any music that anyone does, most people in the world are indifferent to it, and that applies to almost every music that's ever been made. And sometimes people connect with something, you know, or you find what you do connects with someone. So if someone was going to see us, they would have to feel like they were already open to somehow feeling some unusual reason why they might connect with what we do. But we would say, well, it's up to you, you know. We don't oversell ourselves in that respect, because I think things have to catch you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like attraction or people you connect with as personalities or whatever. Things kind of happen. There has to be a chemistry there. There has to be something. And sometimes when somebody tries to say something, it spoils the moment of connection, you know. So I don't know what we'd say to people, but, you know, yeah, if you're not doing anything September the 9th, check it out, you know.
I will take care of recommending
Yeah.
Teenage Fan Club in this radio
Yeah.
for these next weeks. And the last question is, if you had to join a Teenage Fan Club right now, which fan club would it be?
I don't know. It's a funny thing in a way, because we called the band Teenage Fan Club. I think we were wary of having a pretentious name. So we tried to think of a really kind of stupid name that would come to mean the band and nothing else. And I think we succeeded almost too well and come up with this stupid name that was easier to live with when we were in our, you know, late teens, early 20s. It's harder to live with as a 61-year-old man, which I am now. So I'm not sure what I would be, you know. But there's things that, you know, as a fan of stuff that I keep going back to. Sometimes the things you go back to are the things that you first got into when you first started liking music. And for me, it would be like early Pink Floyd or something like Sid Barrett. You know, I've got somewhere in this cupboard, I've got a book of Pink Floyd, the early years when I was learning how to play guitar. I had a book to learn how to play Sid Barrett songs when I was 15 or something. And last night I actually went back and listened to the first Pink Floyd album, you know, Piper at the Gates of Dawn. And there's a resonance about hearing Sid Barrett's voice, whether it's solo albums or the early Pink Floyd stuff, that takes me back to being 11 or 12 years old with headphones on.
Right.
You know, I'd sit in my living room with my family and they'd be watching TV and I'd be sitting playing records with headphones on. So there's stuff that takes me back to being a child. I was young, listening to music that seemed like I didn't know anyone else that liked it, you know. So those things, I'm definitely still a fan, and was a teenage and pre-teenage fan of everything to do with Sid Barrett and his associations. So yeah, that was my pre-teenage fan club.
It's always good to go back
Yeah.
to the Teenage Fan Club.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Raymond. It's been a pleasure, a very, very big pleasure.
Well, thank you.
And I can't wait to see you live on September 9 in the
Yeah.
CERT Media. So
Yeah.
I
We're
really
looking
look
forward to it. Yeah.
to have you here.
Yeah. It's great. It would be great to be there. Can't wait.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. See you.